Welcome back to Robin Park. Semi-final time for Players' Championship 1. 4 major title winners in our final 4, but who will prevail? Welcome return to form for Joe Cullen, who takes on Luke Humphries here. Humphries, the world #1, the recent Masters winner and a winner of the opening night of the Premier League. It's been a decent week or so for Humphries, for the rock star, hoping to get back in the winner's enclosure after around about 2.5 years since his last win. And he's had a good performance to get to this far at this stage. Cullen beat Greg Ritchie in the opening game, survived the match start there, then beat Scott Williams in the decider. Luke Littler, he brushed aside 6-3. Jan van Veen in another decider before he beat Richard Veenstra last time out. For Luke Humphries, beat Titus Kanek 6-3 in his opening game.
Luke's won the
Rusty Jake Rodriguez had match darts to knock out the world #1, but didn't.
Luke to throw
Mensa Sulovic, Mike De Decker, and Daryl Pilgrim were all brushed aside with minimum fuss to allow Humphries to get here. Race to 7 for a place in the final this evening. Paul Nicholson alongside me. Cullen resurgent here today. He's been in fine form.
Yeah, it's good to see, isn't it? He's not been squeezing through every game he's been playing. He's been doing a lot of that against high-level opposition,
60,
including the world champion Luke Littler on this board. So now he's trying to do the Luke double on the same streaming surface.
Yeah, it's been some run for Cullen. For Humphries, I think fair to say he's been nowhere near his best today, but that's a sign of a good player when they're not at the best and they're still winning.
No, you're not wrong. You can win a tournament when you're not at your best. Everybody has to take notice of that.
134.
Great cover from Luke. So Cullen immediately needing champagne. Very nearly pops it.
Wasn't a million miles off, was it? Well, here comes Humphries, 18 for double 16.
75.
He wires a chance to take out the opening leg.
Game shot.
And they are the kind of chances that when you get them, you can't scupper them. An immediate break for Cullen, who's looked really focused today. He goes on to win Players' Championship 1 for the 2nd time in his career here today. He's going to have to climb some more mountains, because it seems to have cleared his head. And his last Players' Championship win was in this building 3 years ago.
99.
And he won that title the day after winning another one. Something about Wigan and Joe Cullen
100
definitely works when he's working at his best.
Yeah, that is fair to say.
100.
Just had a scroll down the daily leaderboard for the averages for the day. I've got to go all the way down to 49th to find Luke Humphries. That's a rarity
42.
in itself, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It'll be fascinating to see where he stands after about
60.
10 or 12 Players' Championships. But in this early stage, what we're seeing from Humphries is that he can still win games when he's not at his best. And when he was against Pilgrim in the last round,
93.
they were the 2 players who were averaging the least going into the quarters. But Humphries lifted it, Pilgrim didn't.
140.
Yeah, here we go again for Cullen. He took out the big fish in his game against Scott Williams, and he's put another dent in that. But Humphries with a chance to break back here.
Chance is gone.
94.
There's a real balance about the way the darts are going in for Joe.
Game shot.
The change of equipment at the top of the setup seems to be working a treat.
Certainly does.
100.
Right signs early on for Cullen.
This is a really big game for Joe.
100.
He wants to get into another final. That's a given. There's something happening that he probably isn't aware of.
140.
If he does get to the final, or even wins the tournament,
93.
He's going to be back in the top 16 of the qualifying list for the European Tour events in Riesa and Munich. He has to go to the qualifier on
100.
Wednesday for the first two. That is a given. His running streak of over 90 consecutive European Tour events is at risk this week. But if he wins this game, he may just be automatically in 2 European Tour events as a result.
100.
Well, that's a nice look from Humphries. Cullen against the throw here is just hoping that Humphries will miss. Well, he whacks in a 180 just in case. He's second of the match so far. But it's in vain as Humphries holds, and it's 2-1.
I've been so impressed with Joe over the course of the last few hours
140.
that I'm starting to believe that who we've seen for the last 2 years was an imposter. This is the Joe Cullen that we saw
97.
in 2022.
Makes you wonder. You mentioned that mountain climbing.
180.
You just don't know. Might have just needed something to freshen up his mind, something to freshen up his attitude. I don't know what it is, but he's come back and he looks on song again.
Yeah, some people, they need to escape. They need to clear their head and get as far away from darts as
134.
possible. Well, Eastern Africa is quite a long way from darts.
91.
It is 47 here. 15 for double 16, and that double 16 is being found with regularity here. Cullen leads 3 legs to 1.
Great game, as you can see.
95.
Humphries is statistically playing the best game of his day, and he's still being nailed into the ground.
48.
Andrew Gilding, early lead over Rob Cross. 2 legs to 0 for
81.
Goldfinger. He's never won a Players' Championship. Won the UK Open, a major, but never won a Players' Championship event.
82.
He was in his first Players' Championship final back in 2014. He's been in finals since then. Humphries, Cullen and Cross have all
137.
won an event like this. And England are having a fairly good day today because all of the combatants left in this tournament are English.
140.
Are indeed. Humphries not having it all his own way at the moment on his own throw, but this is a decent visit, lovely visit.
34.
Down to 54 after 12. That's no good for Joe.
42.
Humphries set to get back within 1.
Not yet. For his liking, they were well off. But at least he's got that second visit, which is
99.
something he's not had the luxury of in this semi-final so far.
Needs to tidy it up though, and does. Double 10 comes to the world number 1's aid, and he is back within 1.
78.
After winning the Winmore World Masters, you can imagine that Humphries' confidence has never felt better because
95.
he has amassed more money on the order of merit than anyone ever has. More than Taylor, more than Van Gerwen, and I know the prize funds are big these days.
180.
We've still got to do it. And he's nearly £800,000 ahead of Littler at number 2.
121.
He could even break the 2 million mark if he has a really good few months.
Yeah, if he's to win the UK Open, he would go through
100.
the barrier of £2 million. Hoping to make it through to yet another final here.
100.
Cullen is first in, 143. He's got 6 at it.
60.
Only 60, so there's a chance here for Humphries.
58.
Hits that last start. Doesn't get him under 100. So Cullen is now looking at 66. Oh, yeah. Right out of the top draw. Doesn't even give Humphries a look at the 127. And he's been doing a lot of that today
100.
when he's needed to.
Yeah, he's been, look at that, averaging over 103 here. This is a decent performance. This is the
96.
Joe Cullen of a couple of years ago when he was winning titles. It's great to see him back on song here. They want to round it off with a win here in Wigan.
140.
Somebody told me earlier today that after his trip to Africa, he said he would never do that again. Well, I've got to disagree.
97.
I think every January, Joe should climb a hill.
Oh, brilliant. Last two darts there. Round the blocker to leave 1-3-2. Humphries needs the big fish. It's not going to go. And Cullen, who missed the ball for a 1-3-2 in the very opening leg, is going to get another crack at it here. This for another break of throw. Is that a good marker? Well, we won't find out.
64.
Looked really inviting, didn't it? Needs the 60.
60.
He's leaving 127, 112. Cullen seems to be leaving stuff under 100 more. The scoring is giving him the chances, and now 5-2 up. He believes that the final is within his grasp. Look at the doubling. 5 out of 7. But if anybody knows against the world number one that the job isn't done, it's probably Joe, considering one of their previous meetings, which will go down as Ali Pali history.
93.
Yeah. It was a bitterly cruel night for Joe Cullen. But here he's making hay, and he whacks in another maximum. 5th of
121.
the match.
Well, if Manchester United were playing like Joe Cullen is right now, they wouldn't be in the bottom half of the Premier League.
65.
Luke Humphries here. And it's not often you get to say that as he fires in a 180. He's been overpowered at the moment. This would be a great way to move within one. Can he find a bedfellow? He can. Tops for 6-2. Not quite.
40.
But yet again, he's on the small number, and Humphries is on the ton plus finish. Double 16.
Game shot.
Second crack at it, and this time he gets it. It's really hard to dispose of a world champion. And we all know he can fight back.
Well, how many times do we say it? The good players find a way, and Humphries is coming back firing.
93.
The maximum, then the 109, and then another maximum. And he's on the warpath here, Luke Humphries. He's on the way to perfection. Not quite. 5 from 6.
Such a joy to watch.
58.
Two players really zoned out and so focused on throwing each and every dart
64.
that the leg score is almost irrelevant to them. They're taking it 501 points at a time.
Well, we're thinking we're watching a good game here.
140.
Over on streaming board 2, as Humphries is going for 117. Oh, is it the single one? Andrew Gilding leads Rob Cross 3-2. Gilding's averaging 104.82. Rob Cross is averaging 111.
Well, he's got history for that. He's lost to Dobie many times with an average in excess of 110.
180.
Cullen won't leave Humphries alone.
Massive moment. And again, double 10 comes to Luke Humphries' aid. It's 5-4.
So much for ring rust when it comes to Players' Championship 1.
100.
I don't see any iron oxide around here.
Well, to be fair, Luke Humphries has been playing all over the world, hasn't he?
That's a fair point.
180.
And Joe Cullen did have a game of darts up at the top of the mountain as well. as intense as the Masters or the Premier League. I'll give you that.
Maybe that's the trick then. He just needed a few darts at the top of a hill with no intensity.
97.
Plenty of intensity in this game. Not even a breath being heard in the cubicle. And now we look like we might have a tied game. And we said Humphries is very good at coming back.
171.
That's a great layup, but it might not be enough. This for the break and throw would have been a 10-dart leg. It's an 11-dart leg, and that is a 3-leg burst from Luke Humphries that levels up this match. Joe Cullen missed 1 dart, and he's not had a sniff in the last 2 legs.
59.
It's fair of us to say that he hasn't done anything wrong. But at this level, against this opposition, he's done one thing wrong.
140.
This is the brutality of top-level PDC darts. You can play the best game you've played in a year and still lose.
Well, he's not done yet. Oh, he would have paid good money for a treble there, wouldn't he? The dart in front. That dart is now levelled out, and here comes Humphries again. The last 4 legs have been immense.
130.
What is it about these two going head to head? This is breathless.
95.
Has he got this in the locker? I wonder. He can't wonder anymore.
58.
Well, he's left the 109 that Humphries checked out in leg 8, but 87 here to go in front. Great first start and a great second dart as well. This is some spell of form from Luke Humphries, whose numbers now are on the climb. That's 4 on the spin. He's averaging 104.47. Cullen over 106, and he's lost the last 4 legs.
134.
I think the right word is incessant.
97.
And stick the word quality on the end of it. Absolutely amazing from the world number 1. But it would be typical if this goes the distance.
I almost feel it deserves a last leg decider here. It's all level over on streaming board 2. Rob Cross 3, Andrew Gilding 3.
77.
1, 2, 4 then to level up proceedings. 2 visits if needed. They will be needed, but it's going to be left very handy indeed.
And that burst from Humphries, which looks like it might be about to come to an end.
57.
12-14, 11-14. 88. He's found the double 4, and we go the distance in a spectacular semi-final.
Well, it deserved a last leg shootout. Who can hold their nerve? Only 58 for Humphries.
And it just goes to show the pace of this game as well. It is twice as fast as the other semi-final. They are 3-3. We are 6-6.
100.
Advantage Cullen. You feel he's got to get 1. He has got 1. Gets 2. That's a great visit. Back-to-back 140s.
Humphries can't leave a finish from here.
134.
He takes 1 big chunk out of it.
6 starts from here, though. Great last start. He's on a finish. He's going to get a chance to win it.
100.
It's only a ton. Both on ton plus finishes. Can one of these players take it out to win and make the final?
Bullseye needs, and he's
96.
just north of the target, so Humphries will come back for 109. Treble 19, he's got to get, and he doesn't. So Joe Cullen will be back
57.
to make it to Players' Championship Final 1.
Game
He's
shot
made it.
And the match.
A
Joe
tremendous semi-final. It's not revenge because of what they've been through before, but this is an immense start to 2025 for the rock star, who showed great courage to take that game out with 105 average against the world number 1 and former world champion, but 50% on the doubles proved to be good enough, and it wasn't good enough for Humphries. Cullen wins the semi by 7 legs to 6 and will play either Cross or Gilding in the final today.